Welcome back to the Christmas Marathon here on Friends of Ood-Kind Media Productions. We're going to carry on with the 2013 Christmas special, which is called
The Time of the Doctor.
Let's get into it.
Dr. Ood.
That'd be me.
Can you please describe the plot of this episode? If there is a plot at all.
The Doctor spends 600 years on Trenzalore defending the children of a town called Christmas from all the Doctor's enemies until finally the Time Lords grant him a new regeneration cycle. That is kind of clustered. As we try and explain this episode, you'll figure it out.
Question number 2. What scene or scenes did you most enjoy in this episode? Bridge, shush. The scene that I most enjoyed was the one where the Time Lords gave the Doctor a entirely new generation cycle. Or the one where he's doing an air guitar.
Yeah.
It just looked really good, and I liked how it looked, and it was a good way to give the Doctor a whole new regeneration cycle. What about you, Dr. Ood?
Honestly, this episode is a complete letdown. Matt Smith deserved better than this. Even the regeneration's a farce. There didn't seem no sparks or anything. It just leaned back like that and back into Peter Capaldi. There was no sparks. There was nothing. This is why Stephen Moffat is never going to go down as the greatest writer in Doctor Who history, is this episode.
Question number 3. What character or characters stood out to you in this episode, and why? Tasha Lamb, she stood out to me because she became very important to the story, and she became a Dalek puppet as well. What about you, Dr. Ood?
The Dalek puppets are absolutely ridiculous.
Why?
They just are. They don't make any sense. No scene stood out to me in this. This was terrible. The only character that stood out to me in this episode, or this farce of an episode, or this Matt Smith letdown, not that Matt Smith let us down, Stephen Moffat let Matt Smith down. The only saving grace in this episode was at the very end, right before Matt Smith regenerated, when Amy came into the TARDIS. Even that wasn't right because she wasn't in the same clothes she was at when she was sent back in time in The Angels Take Me. Yeah, I can't overlook that. Anyway, next question. Are there any other tie-ins to any other Doctor Who episodes in this episode? If so, please explain. Okay, any tie-ins in this episode to any other Doctor Who episodes?
The entire Matt Smith era with the crack.
Explain.
Everything Matt Smith ties in this episode, and it tells why the crack has been there and following him for his whole lifetime. What about you, Dr. Ood?
Moffat, you cheated us. Next question.
If you would have written this episode, would you have done anything different?
I would have done everything different. Absolutely everything. Well, for a start, it wouldn't be one story. It wouldn't be one episode. It'd be set over about 3 or 4, like what David's was, his last sort of half series, the specials. But seeing as it's just one episode, if I can find what I wrote down. Right, this is how you're supposed to write the end of a Doctor's timeline, Stephen Moffat. Have the focus on the main character. Focus on Matt Smith and his regeneration, like they focused on David Tennant and his regeneration. Have a simple plot. Battle against the Master. Matt Smith never had a Master. Introduce Missy in this episode as the Master. Have him battle Missy. Have him battle a newly regenerated Master. This is the final incarnation of the Doctor when he's given a new regeneration cycle. While regenerating, have sparks, have something, even if you can. Have every face of the Doctor fly up in time, like flashback, like on his face, like going backwards. So you got Matt Smith, and you go back to David Tennant, Chris Eccleston, John Hurt, Paul McGann, backwards all the way to William Hartnell. And forget Ruth. Finally, when the Doctor does regenerate, destroy the bloody TARDIS, because that tells you that this era is over and we're moving on to the next one. That's everything. You've done it with Peter Capaldi. Why didn't you do it, Matt? I understand that, hey, okay, it's a new regeneration cycle. Let's just change his face without sparks. Understandable, but not very visually pleasing, especially for a Doctor that was as good as the 11th Doctor. Matt Smith was freaking amazing. And this just let him down, and you let us down. This has got to be the worst Stephen Moffat, well, not the worst Stephen Moffat script. This is the worst regeneration script ever. This is the worst Christmas episode script ever. It's too clustered. You can tell that Stephen Moffat was focused on Sherlock at this point. Can you tell I don't like this episode very much?
If I were to write this, I would make it into 2 parts and make it interesting.
That's our review. We hope that you're enjoying these reviews, guys. We're just trying to give honest opinions of what we think about these episodes.
That is our review for The Time of the Doctor.
My recommendation for this is, for a Doctor Who episode, don't watch it, but for a Matt Smith marathon, you're going to have to watch it because it's a regeneration story. You're going to be very disappointed. Join us again for whatever episode we're doing next. We don't know, but like we said, they're going to be on the playlist in order. If you haven't subscribed, guys, please do subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. And there'll be a link in the description below. You go ahead and join the group on Facebook. Just click on the link. It'll take you to Facebook and just click join. You'll get the plans of what's happening in 2021.
Yeah.
For now, guys, always try to be nice.
Never fail to be kind.